We're heading back 2 seasons to Digimon Tamers, arguably one of my favorite Digimon series. For the remainder of the set review videos, I'll be covering the Tamer cards, and today's coverage? Terriermon and the white cards. Terriermon is back again, this time with the start of main phase effect where if you have Henry Wong or Calumon in play, you gain 1 memory. With a memory fixer Henry from EX2, you could promote out and start your turn at 4. With the other Henry Wong variants, excluding the one with Suchong, you could be at 3. But other than memory gaining effects, this Digimon sports an inheritable when attacking effect that suspends one of your opponent's Digimon once per turn. Interestingly, there's one design flaw I see with most green decks. Zephyrgamon is one of the few decks that has solved this issue because body presence typically means that unless you can redirect the attack, such as the case of Vortex, the opponent's Digimon will simply unsuspend the following turn. This provides the ability for them to still Digivolve on top of it and trigger any potential when Digivolving effects. Another being that green is one of the colors that has very limited removal. With Gargomon, this Digimon has the same inheritable effect as Terriermon, but it does get the much needed upgrade of being the first Digimon that can play Henry Wong without paying the cost. And believe me, I double checked this. This is crazy that Guilmon decks and Renamon decks have this already, but this is the first one. This will arguably become the mandatory 4 of going into a Terriermon tribal deck, but for Rapidmon X, I don't recommend. Rapidmon Ace is the newest level 5 Ace Digimon and is among some of the few Blast Digivolving Digimon that has an inheritable effect. While the inheritable provides a DP buff, it's a ginormous plus 4000 DP during your turn. This Ace Digimon has an on-play and when Digivolving effect that suspends one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers. Then one of their Digimon or Tamers can't unsuspend until the end of their turn. This goes back to again, that green typically likes to suspend Digimon and prevent them from being unsuspended. But I do like the elements of Jaeger-Derulemon that also prevent that Digimon from activating when Digivolving effects. It's not a bad option per se, because this also lets you Evo over it into Rapidmon X. But when you get into Megagargomon, it's just there. This Digimon Digivolves for 5 regardless from any green level 5 Digimon. No special conditions from a non-green Rapidmon, though they're all green. With a 13,000 DP body, it's huge, and with Rapidmon Ace's inheritable, it contests even some level 7s. This Digimon has Security Attack +1, and a when Digivolving and when attacking effect that may return one of your opponent's suspended Digimon to the bottom of the deck. Okay, I'm not going to lie that this is actually decent removal. The only downside is that Digivolution cost. Nothing like a little hidden potential discovered won't fix. While I do like the removal aspect of this card, I still think Megagargomon is one of the archetype level 6s that is still missing something. And objectively out of all the Megagargomons, the Ace from the starter deck was arguably the best one. But if you're wanting to build a cheap Terriermon deck, I think it's very possible. For this particular set review, because some of the other reviews have so many cards, I lumped Trinity Burst into this video as well. This 8-cost, triple color option card can have its color requirements ignored if you have a level 5 War Growlmon, Taumon, or Rapidmon in play. Main, you play a token respectively that's a red War Growlmon with 6000 DP, a yellow Taumon with 6000 DP, and a green Rapidmon with 6000 DP. However, if you control one of these Digimon already, you may not play it. Then for the turn, one of your level 5 Digimon gains Alliance twice, and it attacks. Because you played 2 tokens, you would then attack and be able to suspend each token for another plus 6000 DP buff for each token you suspend, and then check 3. Is it a good card? I think it's flavorful, but not competitive worthy. But I could be wrong. With Henry Wong, this new 3-cost Tamer has a start of main phase in which if you have a Digimon with Terriermon, Gargomon, or Rapidmon in its name, you gain 1 memory. All turns when any of your Digimon Digivolves into a green Digimon, by suspending this Tamer, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Again, this is fine, but I want something more. I still think end of turn attacks or redirects for this would be nice after suspending. With Calumon, this white Digimon returns, and cannot Digivolve from a level 2 Digimon. When it's hit in security, you may play 1 Digimon card with 2000 DP or less from your hand without paying the cost. Main effect, by suspending this Digimon, one of your Digimon may Digivolve into a Digimon card from your hand with the Digivolution cost reduced by 2. Poor man's HBD? I guess. All turns, this Digimon can't attack or block. and on deletion you place this card as your top security, meaning you can always guarantee playing a Digimon with 2000 DP or less, assuming your opponent isn't able to trash your security. But enough with some of the main cast support. For the last 2 cards of this video, it's all D-Reaper related. First, there's ADR01 Jerry, a new printing that on play, for each Digivolution card of one of your Mother D-Reaper, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 1000 DP for the turn. So if your Mother has 5 sources, minus 5000 DP. Remember, X Antibody here can also be used to increase your source count. During your main phase, place this Digimon as the bottom Digivolution card of one of your Mother D-Reaper without ADR Jerry and its Digivolution sources. This is another neat aspect to include now, considering this accelerates your win condition. You just need to avoid those option cards. Hilariously, because of the Blast Digivolution and potential of D-Digivolving from cards like Metalseedramon Ace or Vikemon Ace, Reaper could attack, place 2 ADR Surgers from trash to unsuspend, only to be D-Digivolved into one. Reasons why this deck is going to still need a major upgrade if you want to do anything with it. But casually, I think it's fine. Last card goes to D-Reaper Zone, an option card that is D-Reaper specific. In Security Opponent's turn, when any of your opponent's Digimon attack, if all of your Digimon and Tamers have the D-Reaper trait, for each Digivolution card of one of your Mother D-Reaper, the attacking Digimon gets minus 1000 DP for the turn. Main, if you don't have face-up security cards, by trashing your top security card, place this card face-up as your top security card. In Security, you may play one D-Reaper trait card with as high or lower play cost as the number of Digivolution cards under one of your Mother D-Reaper from your hand without paying the cost. With 3 sources, you could start playing Searchers to draw 1. Overall, I'm conflicted with this particular option because while the DP reduction is nice, if you use any other Tamers, like say Shoto Kazuma, you won't get this face-up security effect. But on the upside, you'll still get the other security effect. Support card wise for D-Reaper, the option won't likely be played, because Shoto Mother is just that damn good. Blue decks will probably be the only decks that can deal with this particular combo. But now when you've got the new Jerry Tamer and the new ADR01 Jerry, it's a deck that can work, especially since Medieval Calumon also does work in this deck too. Briefly, this is one deck that took 2nd place in Super TB3v3, authored by Hero on the DigimonMeta.com website. Again, if you're looking for a reference for a deck that's ahead of us, Digimon Meta is the best place to go. But for this particular video, the focus I want to take is with terriermon. And surprise surprise from the set, the most you'll take for upgrading the deck is the terriermon and Henry Wong. While Gargomon does play Henry Wong if you have 1 or less Tamers, the starter deck terriermon is superior in playing any green Tamer for a reduced cost of 2. The following list was another list I took off of DigimonMeta.com, taking first place in a 4-round event authored by Torang. Again, this is a starting point, but you can change cards based on your particular preferences. With Gummymons, I do feel the starter deck one is the best one, because all you need is a green Tamer to draw 1. The other draws on your turn when you suspend an opponent's Digimon, which can happen now if you suspend via Henry Wong's effect. Nothing else really feels good though, unless you're wanting to gain memory up on suspending with Gargomon, but I'd advise against this. Interestingly, with the terriermons, I did note that there weren't any Floodgate variants, and they opted for the Pomumon instead. Sadly, green is one of the colors missing the prevention of play cost reductions, in the case against cards like Medieval Gallantmon or Death Xmon. And because there are so many ways to remove Digimon these days, memory return can still happen afterwards, in cases like Mirage Galgomon. But with Pomumon, this stops a lot of decks from playing via card effects, which, at this time in their original format, Crossheart was more likely played. But the rest of the lineup plays to a standard Rapidmon X and doesn't really utilize anything else new, which means you have your standard BT8 Rapidmon, starter deck Rapidmons that are level 4 and level 5, Megagargomon Ace, and Rapidmon X, though Ultimate Chaosmon is a very hilarious tech. Tamer-wise, it's still nothing really different with Mimi Tachikawa providing memory fixing and creating extra breeding phases, Willis for the reduction Digivolution costs, and the new Henry Wong for additional suspends and memory gain. Green option cards, You Live in Hidden Potential Discovered, Agility Trainings, though the only ones that I thought you could tinker with are the Devil Typhoons. Speculatively, these could be green scrambles, since they could play at any level 3 Digimon if your opponent has one and you have nothing. But Double Typhoon has no restrictions other than playing only terriermons and lotmons. And the last option, of course, being that expensive protoform. Generally, I feel that Henry and Terriermon are overdue for some newer cards, and at times I feel like the support introduced to Terriermon and Shoto Kazuma would have been great additions to this line as well. But what were your thoughts of these cards, and what will you be implementing? Let me know, and I'll catch you tomorrow on more Tamers support. This is DIGI-PANDA, logging out.